Imagine this, you're lying on the ground, half your body is burned, your skin is melting off, you can barely see, you can't feel your legs, and then he walks up to you, Mahito, grinning, and you know what's coming next. You survived a literal volcano curse, you fought through unimaginable pain, and now you're about to die anyway. That's Nanami's final moment, and honestly, it's not even the worst thing that happens in Jujutsu Kaisen, because Gege Akutami, this man woke up and chose violence, not just against curses, against his own characters, against us. He built a world where suffering isn't just a plot device, it's the entire point. So today, we're ranking the most tortured characters in JJK. Not just, oh, they had a sad backstory tortured. I'm talking broken bones, shattered souls, existential dread, and psychological warfare levels of torture. The kind that makes you pause the episode and just stare at the wall. And spoiler alert, your favorite character? Yeah, they're probably on this list. Let's get into it. We're starting with someone most people sleep on when it comes to suffering, Panda. I know what you're thinking. Panda, the goofy mascot character? He's fine. Wrong. Dead wrong. Panda isn't even human. He's a cursed corpse. He was created by Masamichi Yaga. But here's the thing, Panda isn't just one soul. He has 3 cores, 3 siblings living inside him, Panda, Gorilla, and Triceratops. And during the culling game, he watches them die, one by one. Kashimo rips him apart, literally tears his body to shreds, and Panda, who's supposed to be this fun, lighthearted character, has to feel his siblings fade away. He's left alone, broken, in pain. And the worst part, he doesn't even get to hate anyone for it. He's not consumed by rage like Maki. He's not on some revenge arc. He's just sad, grieving, quietly suffering, and nobody talks about it. Gege really said, "You thought the funny panda was safe? Nah, let him cook," in despair. But you know what's worse than losing your siblings? Losing your faith in humanity itself. Suguru Geto is one of the most tragic characters in all of anime. This man started as a hero, a jujutsu sorcerer who genuinely wanted to protect people. He had the power, he had the purpose, he had Gojo by his side. And then he broke. Geto's whole ideology collapsed when he realized that non-sorcerers, the people he was risking his life to save, were the ones creating curses in the first place. He watched Riko Amanai die. He saw the corruption, the cruelty, the pointlessness of it all. So he snapped, killed an entire village, turned into a curse user, and spent the rest of his life trying to wipe out humanity to save sorcerers. But here's the kicker. Even in his final moments, when Gojo kills him, Geto smiles, because at least he got to die by his best friend's hand. And you'd think that's where his suffering ends, right? Wrong. Because even after death, Geto doesn't get peace. Kinjaku hijacks his body, desecrates it, uses it to manipulate Gojo emotionally. Geto's corpse becomes a weapon against the one person who ever truly understood him. Absolute cinema? Sure, but also absolute suffering. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Geto's ideology was wrong? Or was he actually right? Because I've seen some wild takes on this. Speaking of Gojo, let's talk about the man who's supposed to be the strongest, because even he couldn't escape torment. Gojo is the GOAT, the honored one, the guy who casually wipes out armies with a smile on his face. But in Shibuya, he got sealed, trapped inside the prison realm. And this wasn't just, oh, he's stuck in a box for a while. No, inside the prison realm, time doesn't exist. You're forced to relive your worst memories, your trauma, your failures, over and over and over. For Gojo, that's Riko's death, Toji nearly killing him, the moment he failed to protect someone he cared about. And the worst part? While he's trapped, the world is burning. His students are dying. Nanami's dead. Nobara's status is unknown. Yuji's suffering. And Gojo, the one person who could stop all of it, is completely powerless. That's psychological warfare at its finest. Gege really said, you wanted to see Gojo suffer? Here's 400 plus chapters of him either being too strong to struggle or being completely removed from the fight. Built different levels of cruelty. But at least Gojo had strength at some point. Some characters, they were born into agony, like Kokichi Muta, the boy who was born in constant pain. Imagine this, you're born with a heavenly restriction that gives you insane cursed energy, but in exchange, your body is twisted, broken, and immobile. You can't feel sunlight. You can't be around people. Every second of existence is agony. So Kokichi makes a deal with the curses. He betrays his friends. Why? Because he just wanted a normal body. He wanted to live. And he gets it for like 5 minutes. Then Mahito kills him. He finally achieves his dream. He finally gets to feel what it's like to be human, and then it's ripped away immediately. That's not just suffering, that's cosmic level cruelty. Gege saw this character and said, give him hope, then destroy him. Fraud watch levels of evil writing. If you've ever felt like life gave you something just to take it away, that's Kokichi's entire existence. But some characters don't just suffer, they refuse to break. Maki Zenin is built different. Literally. She was born into the Zenin clan with 0 cursed energy. In their eyes, she was worthless, trash. They abused her, mocked her, treated her like she didn't exist. But Maki didn't cry, she didn't beg, she got stronger. And then Shibuya happened. She got burned alive, her entire body was scarred. She was broken, bleeding, and barely able to move, and yet she kept fighting. Then her own clan tried to kill her, so she wiped them out. Every single one. Maki's suffering didn't make her weaker, it turned her into a monster. The kind of monster that makes you root for her, even when she's covered in blood. Let him cook? Nah, let her cook. And she did. Absolute cinema. Drop a comment if you think Maki is top 3 strongest characters in JJK right now, because honestly, I'm convinced. But while Maki's pain made her ruthless, some characters' suffering is quiet, internal. Megumi is the definition of quiet suffering. This man has been conditioned his entire life to sacrifice himself. His technique, literally designed to summon something that could kill him. His mindset, if I'm not strong enough, I'll just die trying. And it's not like he's doing it for glory. He does it because he feels worthless unless he's protecting someone. Survivor's guilt? Check. Self-worth issues? Check. Constantly putting himself in danger? Check. And then Sukuna takes over his body. Megumi becomes a passenger in his own flesh. He's forced to watch Sukuna destroy everything and everyone he cares about, and there's nothing he can do. That's not physical torture, that's mental annihilation. Gege really said, let's break the quiet kid in the worst way possible. Peak fiction? Maybe. Peak suffering? Definitely. And if we're talking about characters who were tortured in front of an audience, we have to talk about Nobara Kugisaki, the queen, the one who said, I'm a pretty girl, so I should be allowed to be selfish. Icon behavior. And Gege, he did her dirty. Shibuya arc, Mahito, the fight that broke everyone. Mahito uses Yuji's emotions against her. He transforms into a copy of Yuji to get close. And then, pop, her face explodes. Half of it just gone. But here's the thing that makes this even worse. We don't know if she's dead. Gege left us, and her, in limbo. She's in this horrifying state of maybe alive, maybe not. And that ambiguity, that's psychological torture for the audience too. We've been waiting for answers for years. Is she coming back? Is she gone? And the fact that we're still asking that question means Gege succeeded in making us suffer right alongside her. Emotional damage? More like emotional devastation. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Nobara's coming back? Or is Gege just letting us live in false hope? Because I've seen some insane theories. But if Nobara's fate left us in agony, the next character's death was just brutal. No ambiguity, just pain. Nanami didn't deserve this. I'm just gonna say it. This man was a salaryman who hated being a sorcerer. He just wanted to clock in, do his job, and go home. He wasn't trying to be a hero. He wasn't chasing glory, but he stayed because someone had to protect the kids. And in Shibuya, he got tortured. First, Jogo, the volcano curse, burns him alive. Half his body is charred. His skin is melting. He can't see out of one eye. He's in unimaginable pain. And does he stop? Does he retreat? No, he keeps fighting because that's who Nanami is. And then Mahito shows up. Nanami's standing there, barely alive, and he sees Yuji. He smiles. He says those final words, "You've got it from here." And then Mahito touches him, and Nanami just explodes, gone in an instant. The man fought through hell. He endured agony most people couldn't even imagine, and his reward? A brutal, meaningless death. Gege saw the most beloved adult character in the series and said, let's make his death as painful as possible. Fraud watch levels of cruelty. If you didn't cry during this scene, I don't believe you. Drop a comment if Nanami's death hit you harder than any other moment in JJK, because for me, it still hurts. And if you think that was cruel, the next one is where Gege showed us just how evil he could be. This is it. This is the moment where everyone realized Jujutsu Kaisen wasn't playing around. Junpei Yoshino, a bullied kid, lonely, broken, just trying to find somewhere he belonged. And Mahito, he groomed him. Not in the physical sense, but emotionally. Mahito manipulated Junpei into thinking curses were better than humans. He gave him power. He made him feel seen. And then, in front of Yuji, someone who genuinely wanted to save him, Mahito turned Junpei into a monster. He transfigured him, twisted his body into something unrecognizable, and Yuji had to watch, helpless, screaming, begging. And Junpei, he died scared, confused, in pain. This wasn't a fight. This wasn't a battle between good and evil. This was just cruelty. Pure, unfiltered cruelty. Mahito didn't kill Junpei because he had to. He did it to hurt Yuji, to break him, to show him that sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you can't save everyone. And it worked. This is the moment that defined Mahito as one of the most hateable villains in anime. Not because he's strong, but because he's evil. He enjoys suffering. He weaponizes it. And Junpei, he was just collateral damage. Let him cook? Nah. Mahito cooked everyone, and we've hated him ever since. If you think this is the most messed up moment in JJK, drop a comment, because honestly, it's hard to argue against it. But as much as Junpei's death destroyed us, there's one character whose suffering is constant, relentless, never-ending, and that's Yuji Itadori. Yuji's suffering isn't just one moment, it's everything. It's his entire existence. Let's break it down. Physical torture. Yuji gets beaten, stabbed, crushed, burned, and torn apart on a regular basis. His body is a weapon, and he uses it like one. He doesn't heal instantly like some shonen protagonists. He feels the pain, and he keeps going anyway. Psychological torture. Sukuna lives inside him, and every time Sukuna takes over, people die. Innocent people, and Yuji has to live with that. He has to carry the guilt of every single person Sukuna killed using his body. Shibuya? Sukuna murdered thousands, and Yuji didn't ask for any of it. He just wanted to save his friends. Moral torture. Yuji's entire worldview is built on saving people, but the world keeps showing him that sometimes you can't. Junpei dies in front of him. Nanami dies. Nobara's fate is unknown. His grandfather's dying words, help people, feel like a curse he can't escape. And the worst part? Yuji doesn't get to break down. He doesn't get to quit, because if he stops, more people die. So he keeps moving, keeps fighting, keeps suffering. Gege saw the kind-hearted shonen protagonist archetype and said, let's see how much we can break him before he stops being kind. And you know what? Yuji's still kind. He's still fighting for others, even after everything. That's not just suffering, that's endurance. That's peak fiction. If you don't think Yuji is one of the most tragic protagonists in anime, you're lying to yourself. This man has been put through the ringer and he's still standing. Let me know in the comments, is Yuji the most tortured character in JJK? Or is there someone you think suffered more? Because honestly, I think it's him. No contest. So there you have it, the most tortured characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. So who do you think suffered the most? Did I miss anyone? Was my ranking completely wrong? Let me know in the comments. Argue with me. Tell me I'm a fraud. I want to hear your takes. And if you made it this far, you're built different. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. And let me know what topic you want me to cover next. Because trust me, I'm just getting started. Gege broke these characters, but he's not breaking us. Let him cook. We'll keep watching. Peace.